What is up, Pokemoshpitbeta? This is AnkleBreaker1023 here, bringing you a black and white Wi-Fi battle. This is a UU match I had against NickrossXD, who I found on the Smoke on Wi-Fi Battle Finder. And looking at team preview, I see on this team that he has a Victini. And I looked at this team. This is basically 6 pokes I just randomly picked together to bring. I look at my team. I do not have a fire resist. But that Victini, if it is Choice Scarfed or Abandoned, maybe even Life Orb, it's going to be able to do a lot of damage to my team. So I'm going to have to find a way to check and counter that. My Honchko is Choice Scarf, but I don't have the Sucker Punch. So if he is not a Scarf variant, I should be able to deal with him with a combination of some Brave Birds or some Night Slashes. But looking at his team, nothing else is really too threatening besides that Victini because I don't have anything to resist the fire type move. So here, I decided to lead off with Sand Slash so I can get maybe some early Stealth Rocks and see what he's going to lead with. He decides to lead off with his Victini first turn, so I'm going to lead with my Sand Slash, and I'm basically thinking that he's probably just going to run a U-turn on out of here, knowing V-Create wouldn't kill me, and he doesn't want to take a U-turn after the defense drop. So here I'm going to go for the Toxic, not going for Stealth Rocks, knowing that he could go into Hitmontop to spin the rocks away and to get the Intimidate, so my Earthquake would do nothing if I do decide to go to Earthquake. I knew he might if I did decide to go for the Earthquake. He decides to go into Slowbro, which I knew he wouldn't go into Roserade because if I did go for Earthquake, it would still do a really good amount of damage because Roserade can't take hits, and went to Slowbro to directly threaten me out, and probably take no damage from the Earthquake, but I go for the Toxic, so I get the Slowbro Toxic, which is really nice, and that was a really big jumble of a sentence there, sorry if that sounded a little weird. So, I'm going to go to my Bronzong now, which is my special defensive wall, knowing I can take anything the Slowbro has to offer. This thing might have the Fire Blast or the Flamethrower, because I know some do carry it, but I do have the Heat-Proof ability instead of the Levitate, so if he does go for that, they won't be doing too much damage, but he ends up going for the Scald and does get the Burn, which I'm just like, alright, really, I don't really care about the Burn, so now he's going to switch into his Roserade here, thinking that he has set up fodder as my Bronzong set up fodder for his rocks and his hazards and whatnot. So I decided to go for my Stealth Rocks here. I do have Stealth Rocks on both my Sand Slash and my Bronzong because they're not meant to be on a team together. They're just 2 pokes that I just decided to bring in a match together. I decided to bring Sand Slash over Claydol because I like Sand Slash over Claydol. But he's going to use me as setup fodder now. I know HP Fires, if he had it, wouldn't be doing too much, and he's just going to go for Spikes. I have Spinner as in Sand Slash, so I know if I can find a way to get it in, it's not going to be that bad. So I go for Gyro Ball. He's not an offensive spiker. It's going to be probably the special defensive build. That really did nothing, even with the crit. It didn't really do that much damage, and I just go for Earthquake on this turn after he sets up. You go for Earthquake after 3 sets of another layer of Spikes because I just wanted to gauge and see how much it's going to do. And it really doesn't do that much damage. It doesn't. I'm burned and it's not stab. And Roserade really don't have good physical defense, but I am burned and it is a non-stab hit. So now I'm basically thinking I'm going to have to switch out here. And I'm thinking he's going to go for the next layer of spikes. So I'm just going to go into my Honchko, knowing that I'm not going to take any damage and I'm going to be able to directly threaten out this Roserade. I really wouldn't go for Sludge Bomb, or if he did go for Giga Drain, it would do nothing. And if he went for Sludge Bomb, he wouldn't go for Sludge Bomb because I was a Steel type out. So now he's going to go for a switch, and I'm going to actually just go right for the Brave Bird, wanting to kill off that Roserade just in case he thought I'd overpredict. And I'm not a sub thing, I'm just a Choice Scarf Honchko, so I'm going to go for the Brave Bird. It's really not going to do anything to Rhyperior due to the resistances and Rhyperior's natural physically defensive bulk. So now I'm basically thinking that he's probably just going to go for the Rapid Spin or maybe the Stone Edge. So if he's going to want to go for Stone Edge, Rapid Spin, or go for the Stealth Rocks, not Rapid Spin, I can go into my Sand Slash safely, knowing I'm not going to take a lot of damage from a Stone Edge, and knowing that if he goes for the Rocks, I'll just be able to spin it off, spin them away on the next turn. And if you decide to go for Earthquake, I could probably live one or Rapid Spin, then maybe die. So he actually goes for the Rocks here, and he's got 3 layers of Spikes up and Rocks, but it doesn't phase me at all, because on this turn I'm able to just go for the Rapid Spin and get all those hazards away. So those are basically like 4 turns he just had of just wasted, basically. So he's actually going to go for the Earthquake here, which is pretty obvious. It's going to do a really good chunk of damage, but it's not going to be able to kill me off, so it's looking like a 2-hit KO, and it is going to be a 2-hit KO. So here I'm just going to go for Earthquake, just trying to get off as much damage as possible to this Rhyperior before I end up dying. So I go for the Earthquake, and it's going to do a decent amount of damage, not too much damage because of Solid Rock. I don't know if that plays a factor in it. I really don't understand how Solid Rock works. But he overpredicts and goes for Mega Horn. I don't know what he was predicting, or maybe just thought Mega Horn would kill and just wanted to switch up moves in case I switched. But he's ended up going to go for the Mega Horn. He's going to end up missing, which kind of sucks for him. So here I decided to go for Toxic because I kind of predicted him to go into Yan Mega to take an Earthquake because Rhyperior's had a really good range of HP, and I don't know why he would want to take another Earthquake, so I kind of thought he would go into Yan Mega. But looking back on it, it really wasn't the best play because why would he bring in Yan Mega if I have Stealth Rock stuff, so he'd be taking an automatic 50%, and then if he took 50%, then Toxic, then Life Orb if he has the Life Orb later. That was not a smart play because he had no reason to switch out into his Yan Mega. So I'm going to go for the HP Ground and bring in my own Yan Mega, and it's just going to fail to kill. It's just going to not finish the job. But he decides to set up his Stealth Rock instead of just killing me off with Stone Edge Stone Edge or Rock Blast, whichever one he tends to carry. But he decides to set up his Stealth Rocks, and I'm just so pissed off how that didn't kill. Yeah, that should have killed. So Now, since I get a little bit of speed boost, I'm getting a little bit of momentum going, so his Victini is scarfed. I'm going to outspeed him after this turn, which is really nice for me. After 1 speed boost, I'm modest nature, so I'm not able to outspeed a scarf Victini, but after 2 speed boosts, now I am. Now I'm going to be able to clean up that Rhyperior, meaning that his rocks are going to be here to stay, though, as he killed off my Sandslash, but that Rhyperior is not going to be able to threaten anything anymore. So, as we bring in his Victini, after taking some rocks damage, I'm thinking that a stab, it's not stab, it is super effective. It's not the most powerful move. It is a super effective hit. It is the Neg, it is Mosh, it is max special attack, but it's just not going to be enough to clean up this Victini, and he's going to just clean me off with the V-Create. And I'm pretty pissed off. That's 2 pokes in a row where I just came. This one wasn't as close to the Rhyperior, but moves that I'm not sure if I got min damage if I calculated, or that's just normal damage, or it's not supposed to kill. I'm just overestimating Yanmega, or I just underestimated Rhyperior's natural spec D, and Victini's base 100 natural spec D, so maybe I think I'm just overestimating. So I'm going to go into Honchko now, knowing that he does have Rhyperior. He doesn't have a resist to me, but he does have a physical wall. I should have went for Night Slash here, thinking about it, because if he would have went into Slowbro like he did, I would have been able to kill him off with kill off the Victini with Night Slash, no questions asked, and I would have been able to kill off Slowbro with Night Slash, no questions asked. But I make a stupid play and go for Brave Bird, and now I make an even stupider play. Seeing that how much it did, and after Leftovers then Toxic, I'm thinking that I might be able to kill it off, but I'm going to go for the Brave Bird, and guess what? It's just not going to be able to do the job. It's 3 times this match I come so close to killing a poke. Not going to be able to finish him off, and he's going to be able to go for Slack Off. Why I did not go for Night Slash, do not ask me. I do not understand why I didn't go for Night Slash. So, now here I don't want to take a Scald, knowing he's probably going to go for Scald, because if he doesn't have to go for Slack Off if he takes a hit, so he can just switch out after taking another Brave Bird and just get some Regenerator. So I'm going to decide to switch out here, straight switching to Zapdos, but he actually makes a good play and goes for the Scald. I have a more bulky Zapdos though, that's why I have a 383 HP stat, so I'm a physically defensive Zapdos, but I do have max HP, so I'll be able to take some special hits kind of decently, and it doesn't get the brain, which is really nice for me, but now I'm just going to go for the Discharge here, not wanting to overpredict. I'm pretty sure he does not have, since his Rhyperior is gone, his electric immunity is gone for the match. So I'm just going to go for the Discharge. He actually decides to stay in, maybe thinking I'd overpredict, maybe thinking I'd go for like HP Ice or Heat Wave, because he doesn't really know what build I am, but I am a max HP, max physical defense build, and I'm able to kill off that Slowbro, which is now my Honchko is going to be able to do a little bit more of a sweeping through. Now, he's going to try to bring his Hitmontop here, and the way he brings it in, I'm kind of thinking he has the Stone Edge, the way he brings it in, because that's why you bring it in, to maybe Stone Edge me. So I'm going to go for the Roost here, but he actually decides to just go for the Toxic, which I could have seen coming too, which I probably should have seen coming over Stone Edge, but my initial thought when he brought in the Hitmontop, oh, he's going to bring it in, he's going to go for Stone Edge, and he's going to do a good chunk of damage to me. So I'm going to go to Roost, so Stone Edge will be a neutral move, but he actually just goes for the Toxic, which kind of sucks on this thing, because this thing is supposed to go with Roost. It has Roar, I think, so it's going to be like a little bit of shuffling with the Stealth Rocks and whatever I have on the field. So I'm going to go for Toxic, and to miss the Toxic, whatever, and he's going to be able to rapid spin away my hazards, which kind of sucks for me. Because now the Victini is able to live in another switch in, and his Yanmega, which I don't think saw the field yet, is not going to be taking 50%, but I could set them up potentially later in the match. So now he's going to decide to switch into his Roserade as I just go for a Discharge, and he's just thinking that this is a safe time to just set up with his Roserade. He's assuming that since I webbed the Toxic and I went for Roost, and the Scald didn't really do too much damage to me, and how like my HP, how high it is, he's assuming that I'm probably a more specially defensive build, and he's correct. So he thinks that I'm not going to have HP Ice and or Heat Wave. So now I'm going to go and switch out into my Bronzong, knowing that Bronzong is actually a really good counter to Roserade because they resist both of his stabs, and if he has HP 5, if you have a Heat Proof, it's not going to do much. So I predict the Sludge Bomb over the Giga Drain because I go into Bronzong. I knew if I didn't want to go into Honchko, predicting the Giga Drain because he did have the option of going for Sludge Bomb. Now, he is free to set up his hazards again, just due to the fact that I don't have a spinner, so he might as well get them up now. But I decided to get out my Stealth Rocks now, just in case he can't bring in Victini, and just so Yanmega can't take 50%. Actually, having 2 Stealth Rockers isn't that bad. And, like, yes, there is another move I could potentially have, but I really don't mind having 2 Stealth Rockers. So here I'm going to switch out, knowing he's probably going to set up another layer of Spikes and go to something that will directly threaten this Roserade, which will be my Cobalion. Cobalion directly threatens Roserade just due to the fact that Roserade's a shitty defense. And I've actually been overestimating Cobalion my whole life. He's got like base 120 defense. I've always thought that his attack stat was base 120, his defense was 90. I guess the first time I looked at Cobalion on Smogon, I just had a little dyslexic moment and just thought of the stats differently. I've always thought that Cobalion was doing so much more damage because I thought he had 120 base attack, but it's really only 90. So here, I know he's going to switch out on him on top, so I'm just going to go for Swords Dance instead of a Substitute, because I'm a sub-SD build. I go for Swords Dance over Substitute, knowing that he's going to be able to break my sub. So here I actually ran damage calcs, and I said that I would be able to live another Stone Edge, so a high jump kick and a close combat, whichever one he decides to go for. So I'm going to go for another SD in his face. Now I'm at +3. He's actually going to go for Rabbit's been over predicting, or maybe just want to get the rocks away. So now this Hitmontop, I'm at +3, and this Hitmontop's out here, and I'm like, alright, I'm going to go for that close combat. It's stab. It's not life forward, but it's max attack. I think I'm Jolly Nature, and it's actually going to kill him off, but it ends up getting a critical hit. I did run a damage calc after this with the Impish Nature on the Hitmontop, and I did the calc, and it had a 56% chance of killing it, so it wasn't a definite kill. And based on my luck earlier, how I didn't kill, maybe I got minimum damage, maybe that was normal damage, I really don't know. But I don't think that the crit did not matter, because I did have a 56% chance to kill that thing. So he's going to go into Mega. I just go for Stone Edge as he goes for Protect. Maybe he just thought he would directly threaten me out, but no, I have +3. Now I'm just going to go for an HP Ground or Fire. I'm going to say it's ground because that's more common to standard to run. And I thought maybe, just so maybe, I'd be able to live at 1 HP ground because I am at full HP, but Combatants aren't the naturally spec defensive bulky. I don't have any HP investment or anything of the sort. So, sorry about that, I have a cold. So, now I'm going to go into my Zapdos now, knowing I can resist the Air Slash, the Bug Buzz, and if he has, and I don't take damage from the HP ground, knowing that that's probably going to be his whole set: Bug Buzz, Air Slash, HP ground, and Protect. That's his 4 moves. So, he's going to go for Bug Buzz, not going to kill me off because I do have max HP investment and I do resist it, even though it does bring me hella low. Thank God he doesn't get the Spidef drop. I'm just going to go for the Roost now, so I'm going to be at a really nice range of HP, and I'm going to be able to tackle on head first more of his pokes, and I'll be able to definitely kill off this Mega. So, basically, I'm just thinking that he's just going to go for another Bug Buzz or maybe an Air Slash and switch it up. I don't know why he would. Maybe just to get the flinch hacks, which is like if he's fishing for hacks, hopefully he doesn't get it. He does go for Air Slash, showing me he is probably going to be flinching for hacks right here. Doesn't get the flinch, which is very, very fortunate for me, as I'm just going to go for the Discharge, able to clean up this Mega, which is really nice for me because that big threat is out of here. Now he's got this Victini left. I know he has his Victini left, and I know that his Victini can do a lot of damage to his team. I know he has another poke left. I don't remember what it is at this moment. I think it is his Hitmontop. No, his Hitmontop dies with the crit. But I know he has a Victini and another poke left. So he's going to go into his Victini now, and he was able to Rapid Spin my rocks away, which is actually better for him now, as Victini can live and just kill me off with a V-Create. I was thinking maybe I could live one. No, I can't live one. Even if he's, I'm not actually even sure what item this Victini is at this point. He could be Scarfed, he could be Banded. I really don't know yet. I don't see the life orb. I'm been assuming Scarf. So now I'm going to go into my Honchkrow, hoping that he is a choice Banded. Oh, he has Roseberry left. Hoping that he's going to be thinking I have the Sucker Punch, so he's going to switch it out. And he does probably think I have the Sucker Punch, so he's going to switch out. Or I would be able to outspeed him anyway if he has, just in case. Just because of the speed drop from V-Create, I would be able to outspeed him anyway. So he's going to go into Roserade. I just go for the Joel Peck, don't want to die to the recoil. And I'm going to get my Moxie boost, and I'm going to kill off that Roserade. Thank God I packed Drill Peck too, because otherwise I would have lost this match. Now I'm going to the Victini. It is the moment of truth. If he gets Scarfed, he wins the battle because he'll be able to kill me off with 2 V-Creates. V-Create on this, V-Create on Bronzong. But he happens to be Choice Banded, so that is going to be the match. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this match. It was a fun, really close Yu-Gi-Oh match. It was a really good 2-0. If you like this video, please go to my channel, leave a like on this video, and go sub to my opponent. Definitely. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.